I may not be what you want, yeah, but I'm all you'll ever need.
Kids in Brooklyn.
Okay, so she's not taken apart, right? She's all back together. But in a constant effort to improve, right? You know, it's crazy because back in the days up in New York, shout out to my boy Anthony. We used to call ourselves Never Satisfied crew, and there was a reason why up there with our cars. 'Cause we always will be doing stuff to our car. So this is kind of strange, right? What do we got here? We got a bicycle pump, and it's going to my engine. And this is a little makeshift pressure test that I did. So I'm gonna do a pressure test on there. I want to see if there's a leak test going through. I hit up Javi. Shout out to Javi. He sent me he has sent me a video on YouTube that you could do like a do-yourself pressure test to see if you have any leaks anywhere. Because I really can't wrap my brain around why I can't make any more power. I don't want to go E85. I know that's one option. I know I can change the manifold. That's the other option. But I should be able to make more power with what I have now. So I'm thinking that hi mama. I'm recording right now. I'm thinking that I'm gonna have to have like a leak somewhere. So I'm gonna do a pressure test. I'm doing it with a bicycle pump. I have a compressor, but the compressor I have is one of those that are for the tires, and it's gonna keep clicking on and off, and it's gonna make too much noise. So I'm gonna do it without it. I'm gonna do it with the bicycle pump. It's gonna make the same pressure, so that's fine. So stay tuned. Let's see if I find any leaks over here. All right, so I started my test and I heard a hissing noise. And guess where I heard a hissing noise? It wasn't from a coupler. Let me see if I can show you this. Can you guys see that right there? Right here. Right here. This was rubbing on this metal so much that it actually has a hole in it. There's a hole there, a huge ass cut. And that must be where all my air is seeping out of. So yeah, I for sure have a leak test, and I don't know how I'm gonna seal that. Maybe some JB weld, or I'm not taking the pipe to a welder. I need to do something about this piece here too, maybe bang this piece in now. But yeah, big leak right here, right there, a big slash, probably half an inch, maybe longer. So that was just the first one I found. So let me figure out how I'm gonna do this. All right, so I took off the pipe. He had made a bracket on the left side, and that's what stops it from moving. I don't have one on this side. And that movement, let's see right there, boom. That is the slit that we have. But surprisingly, I thought it was that big gash. If we look into it, let's see if we can see. Can we see? There you go. That's what we're seeing out of it. But I think that's enough that it's gonna come out, you know? That's gotta be enough that it's leaking out of it. So I'm gonna have somebody right now, in about 20 minutes, I'm gonna go to the crib, have them spot weld it for me, closed. The piece that was touching is this piece here. I just took the good old mallet and smashed that in. I'll put a little bit of, I have a very thick, like a duct tape, but not really duct tape, but like a very thick foam covering. I'll cover that with that, just in case. But as far back as I just knocked that, it should not even come close to it anymore, because it's gonna be right here, and it's gonna have about 2 inches before it. But yeah, sure enough, that is the first leak that I found. And I checked in here just in case, because I, you know, for some reason, I just checked to see if there was like a towel in there or something, because there's some freak accidents that be happening. And oh, I'm gonna have to bend this back up. And maybe there's a towel there that's stopping the airflow, but there's nothing in there. Everything's clear. So once I get the charge pipe back, I'll put it back in. I'll seal everything up, clamp everything down, and then continue to do the you know, the leak test that I'm doing. And I am gonna move some of my vacuum hoses as well. And then after I'm done with this, I actually have to work on this thing. I'm doing all new suspension on that. So I got the Honda shocks. I gotta pull them apart, put them on. I've got the new tires here. And then get an alignment on that, on the wife's car. But that's what I'm doing on this one. Guess where I'm at again. I'm in Fort Myers at 5 Bar, and I have found a bunch of leaks So I sealed them up, and we're gonna retune a little bit just to make sure that the air-fuel ratios are good, because I'm sure that everything got bumped up a little bit. So let's see what happens today. All right, so we did a couple pulls already, and sure enough, those leaks, fixing it, improved it. Not only that, the leak I had on my fuel pressure regulator, I had a vacuum leak, changed the whole air-fuel ratio now. So now that he's been able to adjust it, we're up to about 250 horsepower. 249 to the wheels is what it's making, at about 219 torque. So we'll see, you know, we can get a little more out of it. Have it, people. I was waiting for that to load, and I figured we went through the numbers. 265 wheel horsepower, 243 torque, which is perfect. It's beautiful. The clutch is it's an ACT, which is rated at about 250 torque. So for me to be at 243, the car is super healthy. It ran good on the dyno. He's very happy with the numbers. Javitune. Let's take it for a spin, man. I'm happy with those numbers.